Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. We're gonna be talking about something super important in your journey of real estate, talking to sellers. And more importantly, how to overcome the fear of talking to sellers. Are you afraid of talking to sellers? Raise your hand. All right, got you. I guarantee I got at least one person to raise their hand. You are fearful of talking to sellers because of one of 5 reasons. And we're gonna talk about what those 5 reasons are today. And then I'm gonna let my friend, Robert G. Allen, somebody who's a childhood hero of mine, explain to you each individual fear and then ultimately how to overcome those. But first, let's talk about what they are really briefly. All right, guys, so here are the 5 fears that you have regarding calling sellers. There is an acronym, actually. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, believe it or not. Oh my gosh, what is somebody gonna think if I don't know the answer? What if I'm on the phone with a seller and the seller says, hey Pace, what about this? And I go, oh, I don't know the answer to that. So fear of embarrassment, fear of abandonment, believe it or not. In this business, we deal with abandonment all the time. I'll get a seller under a contract, okay? I go to a seller, I call them, we negotiate a price, I get the house under contract, I got my fancy dancy documents, and I'm now officially in a transaction. I get a call a week later from a seller and the seller says, I'm sorry, I'm going forward with a different company that offered me more money. And so I'm fearful of, oh my gosh, what happens if I do get a house under contract and then they cancel on me and they abandon me? So that's abandonment. Another one is fear of rejection. You are afraid of hearing no. And so you don't want to do it. You want to avoid pain at all costs. You're just a human like all of us, right? You have that lizard brain inside of you. The lizard brain is the prehistoric part of our brain that wants to protect ourselves, right? We don't want to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations. We're always seeking comfort rather than stretching and growing into new endeavors by getting out of our safety zone and our comfort zone. You have a lizard brain, so you don't want rejection. And then finally, fear of success. What happens if a seller actually says yes to you? Holy crap, heaven forbid you call a seller and you say, hey seller, I want to buy your house with cash or, creative. And the seller says, yeah, I'd love to sell my house to you, right? Which happens all the time. We buy houses weekly. And my friend Jamil Damji, go check out his YouTube channel, by the way. He buys about 300 houses a month. Homeboy is super dope. They do a lot of business. But sometimes there are people that won't even call a seller because they have a fear of success. What happens if the seller says yes? What are my next steps? Now, a couple of things I want to give you, okay? I'm going to give you a couple of things. Actually, 3 things I'm going to give you. You don't have a business in real estate unless you have 2 things. Number 1, you need an LLC. You need an actual business with a business name. It is not appropriate, in my opinion, for you to be running around offering things on people's houses and trying to fix and flip and do whatever it is that you want to do in real estate without an actual legit business name and a bank account. Heaven forbid that seller actually says yes, and then you have to make money on a transaction. Where do you put the money? In your personal bank account without the ability to have tax write-offs and all of the benefits of having an LLC? We use a company called primecorporateservices.com. They just set up 4 LLCs for us on individual businesses that we're doing. These guys are unbelievable. The guy I talk to over there is either Steve or Tommy. They are epic. So that's number 1 thing that you need to be in business. Number 2, guys, if you don't have leads, you don't have people to talk to, and you don't have people to negotiate with, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. You have something that is just you're consuming content. We want to avoid that at all costs. We want to make sure that we're actually generating leads and we're practicing by calling sellers. But if you're fearful, you're going to have a hard time. So I'm going to give you 2 gifts today. 3 gifts. 1, free consultation with primecorporateservices.com. Number 2, what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a course. I'm going to give it to you for free. You're going to have to make a comment or maybe click a link down below. I'm gonna give you guys a free course. We charged $1,000 for it last year, and it's called Zero to Hero Season 1, okay? Now here's what Season 1 of Zero to Hero was. It was myself and my business partners starting in a brand new market, North Carolina. Somebody else chose the market. We then started generating leads in that market, North Carolina. We then had 12 actual working days to generate money, and we generated $70,000 of profit in 12 days by starting brand new. So we got our LLC with Prime Corporate Services. We then got a website. We got this, we got that, all within day 1. And then by day 4, I believe, we had our first contract, and then it just started ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching all the way through. So you can watch us do this live. Click a link down below. You'll find it. I don't know what it's called. My team knows. The 3rd thing I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a script on exactly how to talk to sellers when you're cold calling them or even texting them. So that will be in a link down below as well. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in Robert G. Allen to talk about those 5 fears of calling sellers. And then Robert G. Allen will talk about how to overcome those fears in this video coming up.